So just a very short while ago, an immense event happening involving a man known to many of us, been part of public life for a long time, has served well in one role, but is now crossing over and becoming something different, going up a level. This event was watched by millions around the world, and we're going to talk about him. No, not that, no. Matthew McConaughey's Art of Living conference. Let's get into that.
What am I doing here? What the hell are we doing here? Is this all there is? No one's come to save us. I get it. Yes, the future. It's foggy. Bullshit. We don't know who to trust. I get it, man. They just have us going in circles. Renegotiate. Is this just getting dizzy? Re-engineer. Everybody's got their hazard lights on. How's it got to be? The boogeyman. We don't know what to believe in. I keep running while I'm cleaning that shit off my shoe on the go. Dum, 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 dum. Restore. More. Revolving. Value. Dum, dum, dum. Why do I keep stepping in that same pile of shit?
We need to talk about this. Welcome back to the Flat Earth Podcast channel. If you want to find out anything more about us, what we're doing, why we're doing it, previous episodes, all that stuff, why don't you check out either the YouTube channel, which you're more than welcome to subscribe to. Just press the bell icon, that like things and all that, and do all that business. Or you can go to the flatearthpodcast.com. There you'll find lots of information about the podcast, pictures of my face, a bit more information about me, little PayPal button. If you want to give to the channel, we'll gladly take any donations you give, and we will spend it on lighting and cameras and equipment for the studio and caviar and peanut butter. So, this event happened. Now, every now and then stuff comes across your email, right? Or you're watching like whatever social media on, and you get an ad for something. I was on there a couple of weeks ago, and this conference ad came up, The Art of Living. But this was different than any conference I'd seen before. I'm used to motivational conferences. I'm used to going to conferences and listening to people talk and waffle on about this and come up with this theory and that theory. Been around the game, done a lot of that. But this one was different. This conference was called The Art of Living, and it was with a guy that I've got a lot of time for, man. Mr. Matthew McConaughey. Great actor. I mean, Time to Kill, Interstellar, The Gentleman, the single best one season of a TV show ever in True Detective. In fact, if you've not watched True Detective season 1, please stop watching this right now. Clench your fist, punch yourself in the face, go to the comments, apologise for not watching it, go off, watch season 1 of True Detective, and then come back. You done? Right, we can carry on. So Matthew McConaughey, I've got a lot of time for this guy, man. I like his whole kind of vibe, the whole Texan swagger thing. I just like it, man. And I read his book. He had this book come out, I think last year, maybe the year before, Green Lights, which is a fantastic book. And this conference was kind of based a little bit on that. So I was in, man. I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm kind of interested. I want to see what is going on. So I tuned in. I paid my 0 fee. It was completely free. Around 2 million people, I think, watched it at a certain point with streaming. You could pay, and more about this in a while, you could pay extra and get some extra perks. You pay like $47 and you can Zoom and ask questions and stay in a little Zoom party room or something. But I didn't do that. I went for the freebie because man is tight. I could eat a rock. I could crap a diamond. Man tight. Anyway, tuned in, very excited, and this is kind of what I got. Love this.
This is my walk-up song.
This is your walk-up song.
I love an entrance song. Thank you. Set that there. Hey,
Come on, man.
thank you. Have fun. Thank you.
Yeah. I I love it. Just comes on, he's already hitting the bongos, he's the Matthew McConaughey we know and love, and he starts clapping himself. I love it. So I was set, man. I got home from work, this started about 6 p.m, went on till, I don't know, it was about 6 hours or something. I didn't watch all of it all the time, but you know, I dipped in and out a little bit, you know what I mean? But got home, very excited, and this opening was just what I wanted, man. Matthew McConaughey on the bongos, a bunch of screens behind, that's a little bit cheesy, a little bit of kind of walkout music, and he gets up, and he's smiling, and he's happy, and I'm just like, this is awesome. I love this. I'm up. I'm signed up. Like I say, I read Green Lights, or rather I listened to Green Lights. If you want to get McConaughey's book, it's great, but make sure you get the audio book first. Because to hear him read it is just an excellent thing. Just his drawl, the way he speaks, it's just awesome. The way he phrases stuff is great. And this conference was kind of this experience, this you know, this art of living was based a little bit around some of the thoughts from his book. And he talked about that just a little bit right at the beginning.
As said, after my book Green Lights was published, and people asked me to dive deeper into the process, they asked me questions like, McConaughey, tell me more about that methodology to determine whether a light in my life is green, yellow, or red. I want to hear more on that. They asked me questions like, how do I know if I can trust a green light?
And there's lots of stuff like this in the book. If you haven't read the book, this might be lost on you. The book is called Green Lights, and it's all about, it's really like 30 odd years of his memoirs and him kind of going over them and talking about his career and how he learned to take risks and negotiate a red light that stopped him and a green light that was, you know, and sometimes red lights are green lights and green lights are red light. Anyway, it's great. It's good stuff. And early on in the conference, I was like, man, this is good, this experience, man. This art of living thing, I like it, man. And he raised some interesting stuff, like this thing about questions.
There is a very consistent rhythm, actually, for all of us in the art of living. It's a rhythm of consistently asking ourselves the right questions. Questions that, if we continue to ask ourselves with complete honesty, will reliably get us closer to what we want and need and inform us as to how to get where we truly want and need to go.
So at this point, I'm in. At this point, I'm like, okay, you're touching things from the book and you're talking about questions, which is a really important thing for me. I love asking the right questions. Sometimes having the right questions it is more important than having answers, you know. Having the right thing to ask about, the right line of inquiry will kind of garner you more success in life than just having a handful of kind of rote answers about stuff. But there was a point in this experience that things began to turn a little bit for me. I'm there. Yeah, come on, McConaughey. I'm down with this, man. Green lights. I like this. I like your whole vibe. Hit the bongos. Be relaxed. But then I saw this just in one little segment.
Be with yourself. Thank you for being humble.
Did you see that there? Did you see it? See, I had this impression that McConaughey was just like freewheeling and just going to be there and talking about the book, this thing he'd written, invested in, he knew. But then I see it, and I get it. They're kind of doing the big show thing. I know that to be prepared. But I look in front of McConaughey, there's a large screen with a document that he's reading from, and I get that. Everyone needs notes. I'm not going to hate on him for that. But then there's also an auto cue. And the moment I saw he was using an auto cue, the more I watched him, the more I realised, oh, you're reading. And maybe I wouldn't have noticed it as much, but I really began to realise how he was grabbing words from this screen and saying them to me rather than they were flowing out of him. And I was surprised because man's a good actor, man. Man's a top-notch actor. But I guess no one can monologue for hours and hours and hours, right? But this kind of upset me a little bit or put me on edge. And I was like, oh, man, I'm feeling a little bit like hustled, man. I thought I was just hanging out with McConaughey here, but I'm kind of feeling a little bit hustled now. He spoke for a little while and then he handed over to this woman. And I tried to pay attention, but I got a little bit lost. More about that in a moment.
Will you please welcome in person Marie Folio? Yes. Great job.
Hey! Unsure of yourself, and you started wondering, like, how the heck do I figure out where to go from here? Anyone ever felt that? If you felt that, I want to let you know you are not alone. Now look, if you also identify...
Now, I began to zone out here a little bit. I guess I was busy. I had other stuff to do while, so I'm kind of listening to this on my AirPods and kind of doing other stuff around the house. And this kind of got me a little bit like, I don't know, man. For me, she came across a little bit like a passive-aggressive, like parent-teacher association kind of member. You know, the woman at kind of like at your kid's sports day or at some event who needs you to go on the stall for a while, who needs you to do the bingo, who needs you to whatever, man. And you have to take gifts with you to every school event because otherwise she's going to see you. It's going to be trouble. That's going on. She got a jumper it's clearly 7 sizes too big for her. It's a grown man's jumper. She cut the arms off, whatever. I'm not a fashion kind of guru, so I get that. But I zone out a little bit because really the main thing was I began to pay more attention to the people on the little Zoom screens behind her than I could pay attention to her. She was just saying a collection of words, but these people were making real contributions. Now I'm going to play that clip again and I'm going to zoom in a little bit and then we're going to talk about just a handful of these people, man. They're awesome.
In that realization, you started feeling totally lost, unsure of yourself, and you started wondering, like, how the heck do I figure out where to go from here? Anyone ever felt that? If you felt that, I want to let you know you are not alone.
Look at these people, man. And particularly this woman who has to get their hands out in agreement. She's there, our friend. I can't see her name. It's a bit out. It's not kind of like clear enough, man, but she's there, she's listening, she's into this woman, she's zeroed in. Woman says, anyone feel like this? And she just goes, yeah, I do. Jazz hands. Just to the left of that woman, there's a woman who for some reason is covering her mouth. Maybe she just burped, maybe she's only just realized that there's 2 million people on a live stream. She's one of them, and she's been scoffing like, I don't know, marshmallows and peanut butter or just like sticking, I don't know, just doing weird stuff, biting her nails, I don't know, but she's freaking out. The woman to the right of the hands woman, she's clearly daydreaming. She's clearly with me in the, you've lost me, I've gone off. Directly underneath hands woman, there's a couple. Now, I've been here. It seems to me that the person on the left, I'm taking this to be the woman in the relationship here, okay? The picture's not that clear, but generally it looks like a woman and a man. The woman is obviously insisted, you must come and listen to this art of living thing. You need to hear this message. He turned up because McConaughey, right? McConaughey's left and now he's pissed. And he just sat there. He's so grumpy. Look at the body language. She is kind of stiff up, trying to listen. This is good stuff. You will listen. He's there like, I can't believe I'm stuck in this bullshit kitchen watching this woman talk about this, and I got to feel whatever, I got work to do, stuff like that. The woman to the right of that couple, the cat has just jumped up on a table, knocked something over, he's hit an electrical socket, there's a small fire. The woman to the left of the 2 people who are clearly not getting on, she's just chilling, but her house is a mess. Whenever anybody zooms and they do the blur background, their house is a shithole. So that woman, she looking relaxed, she looking chilling, but her house is terrible. She's a terrible, lazy person. I don't know what to say about that. She's just terrible. I can't say much about the others, but I found the more I watched this woman, the more I was just transfixed on these Zoomers behind. They just crack me up, man. And I don't know if you've ever been on one of these big group Zooms. I have. After a while, you just kind of forget you're on a Zoom. You just kind of like, you start doing other stuff. You pick your nose, you fall asleep, you suck your thumb, you whatever you're going to do, man. You pass a spot, other people come in, you do weird stuff, you start rubbing your belly. You just forget. You just let it go, man. So it's interesting watching this stream and watching all these people start to do it. Eventually, this woman gets to the end of her thing and leaves the stage.
Thank you, everyone.
Marie Forleo, everyone. Wow.
And high five this guy. Youth pastor of a mega church, stroke serial killer. I know this guy. Apparently he's famous. Apparently she's famous and well known in these circles. I didn't know neither of them. The only person I did know that was on this stream was Tony Robbins, who'll be coming up in just a minute. But this is where the things got a little bit deeper and darker for me on this whole kind of McConaughey art of living event. This guy. And what happened next.
McConaughey's coming back out, so I hope nobody's leaving, not even for a second.
I love this. obviously they've been charting demographics and interaction with the Zooms and other things, and they've seen that McConaughey's slightly gone off screen to let the woman go on, and he's come on, and the ratings, the engagement, the likes have just dropped off a cliff, because we came from McConaughey, he did 40 minutes or something, and then he dust stage left, and now we're like, what are we left with, man? We're left with this woman we don't know and her Zoom squad, and we're left with this guy who's about to go into one hell of a pitch. And this is where this thing began to lose me.
The cool part, a course like this, again, Tony and I have been doing this forever, 65 years between us. This should be a $1,000 course, and it's not.
Should be.
So you get 8 weeks walkthrough. That's an amazing package.
It's amazing.
Course, workbook, live weekly, and part of something bigger. And here's what you get.
Yeah, it should be. It should be. That's the right price for this sort of content. It should be £3,961. Who wouldn't want to pay that for this quality of stuff?
You get road trip. It is immersive learning at its best. You get to have this guy ride shotgun with you for the next 3 months, 3 years, as long as you want. It's yours for life. Imagine going through a tough time and say, I need more love. I'm going to go get McConaughey. I need more balance in my life. I'm going to go get more McConaughey.
That's what we say, right? When I'm struggling, when I'm in trouble, when my marriage isn't working right, I go to my wife, whoa, stop, darling. You know what we need? We need more McConaughey. When the bank manager phones me, says, bruv, you ain't got no more money left. You keep spending all this money. We're going to have to come and repossess and stuff. I go, no. You don't need to take my stuff. You need more McConaughey. When the engine on the car blows up and I go to the garage and the man says the car's condemned, or you need to give us like £1,100 and we're going to fix it, whatever, I say, no, I'm not giving you money, man. What I'm going to give you is something more valuable. I'm going to give you more McConaughey.
Honest and truly, this is real value at $3,900. And if today we dropped it to $997, I would say you guys should all run and get it right now. But here's the cool part, and only during our live, you can have Road Trip, the highway to more, for $397.
Get out of here. Get out of here. You can have all of this. It's supposed to be £3,950 million, and it's worth that. But no. It's going to be $397. $397. Get out of here, man. That's a bargain. This guy did the classic sales pitch. Inflate the price of something up here and then say, now you're getting it for a deal. You weren't. I came to this event free. I didn't want to spend any more money. Some suckers paid $47 to do the extra Zoomy thing. But even they weren't really looking to spend any money. But there's some people out there, the psychology in their brain is if they see something on sale, they think it's a bargain. They think it's like, you know, well, it was £200. It was $400. Now it's only $50. Now it's only £50. And not for a moment do some people think, well, I wasn't going to spend £50. They just think, well, I'm saving 200 or 100 or whatever. And this is the model that this guy's using. I came in, yes, for more McConaughey, but I'm getting the sales pitch, and it's coming heavy, it's coming thick, and it's coming fast. He does this. They cut to basically a kind of a holding screen, talking about all this for about 10-15 minutes, just going over and over the prices and the value and the shortcuts that you're going to take, because you don't have to pay the full cost. You're going to do this, and there's this offer online now, only if you get it right now. And then we hand over to our next speaker. And I'd never heard of this guy, but I kind of liked him, but for funny reasons. Let's get into him.
Everybody, Trent Shelton. Yeah, man.
What's up, What's up, how's everybody doing? Like the chat. Give up a Matthew McConaughey. How y'all feeling? You feeling good? I know how it feels to lose my best friend to suicide. I know how it feels to lose my mother the past years, tear my Achilles, lose my grandmother back to back to back to back. I know how it feels, but I also know how it feels to rise above. I know how it feels to turn that struggle that you may be dealing with into your greatest strength. To turn that pain that you may be dealing with into your greatest power. To allow that setback that you may be dealing with to be your greatest comeback.
Ah, this guy is preaching. This guy's bringing the motivational gravy. Okay, Anna, you need to turn your setback into your setup. You need to turn your weakness into your strength. He's doing it. He's hitting it. I like it. He's straight away. He's coming out aggressive. Written on his hat is positive vibes. If you didn't know already, this guy's positive. He's buff. So I always like buff guys. I kind of listen to them. I don't know why. I think they know more than me. It's just one of them things that happens. Do you know what I mean? Man's got some good dreads. You won't see him much. I saw them. I respect the game. And he's doing his thing. He's doing it. But as he goes on, the more and more he does stuff, the more and more I just feel like he's just saying groups of words at me. And I don't know how much sense they make, but I'm kind of into it.
There's a you inside of you.
A you inside of you.
A you inside of you that's...
A you inside of you.
And that you inside of you...
That you inside of you.
That you inside of you that you've been holding back for far too long.
That you inside of you that you've been holding back for far too long.
That you inside of you.
A you inside of you.
That you inside of you that you've been keeping bottled up. That you inside of you. That you know needs to come out.
Did you see that moment? There's a moment, right? Now, I've been a public speaker for like 25 years. And there's sometimes when you're speaking that you're saying stuff and you're thinking about what you've just said. You're thinking about how people are receiving it. And you're thinking about where you want to land. And you can get a bit lost. And there was that moment where he just was saying all this, the you inside of you, the you inside of you. And for a moment, he got lost. Let's just watch it again.
That you know needs to come out. That you know needs to come out.
It's the excruciating. If you're a public speaker, it's excruciating because that moment is the realization on his part that not only does he not know where he's going, but he realizes that people watching, or people maybe like me, we suddenly realize he doesn't know where he's going. Now he pulls it back. He gets it just in time. But the barrage of words thrown my way doesn't finish there. It carries on.
And make a long story short because of time, I've been to Africa 3 times.
Now, to make a long story short, because of time, I've been to Africa 3 times. It seems like that's a short story. It seems like that doesn't need any shortening. But whatever, we'll go to it.
And every time I go, and I want y'all to get this, every time that
I love this. I'm going to do... I did it. I was about to say, I'm going to start doing this. When I get excited about what I want to say, I'm going to stop. Like, because I love the fact he goes to say, he's so excited to get the words out, he claps. And I was going to say, I'm going to start doing that. And I can't believe it. I did it. I just did it instinctively. Getting emotional now. Just so you know, this is such a tactic. And I love it. I don't know, I'm weird. I like to be kind of like led astray. I like to be kind of taken on a journey by people. I don't mind people using music and smoke and mirrors and stuff. I like a bit of the public speaker trickery, and we're about to get a bucket of it here.
Never back down when your back's against the wall. It matters how many times you get back up, not how many times you fall. It's about your mentality. What's the point of dreaming a dream if you're not working to turn that dream into reality? So speak life into your life. Speak life into your life. Right now in the chat, speak life into your life. Say, I am purpose. I am healed. I am free. I am me. I am my next level. I am greatness. Speak life into your life. As Marie said, I am not these things anymore. Speak life into your life. Be your own motivation. You see, a legend is just an ordinary person with extraordinary determination. So find a way to make
I'm not crying,
one.
you're crying. I'm not crying, you're crying.
You just regret the chances you didn't take. So find the courage to take one. Your only limit is you. Don't surrender to your struggle. Make that struggle surrender to you. Don't you ever stop working. And I think the art of living will teach you this. When the destination is worth reaching, the path won't always be perfect. But I promise you, it's worth it.
Motivational excellence there. Bit of music, don't give up, keep going, speak life to your life. There's a you inside of you, but he's not finished. I thought he was finished, man. The organ, whatever it is, come on. I thought, great, we're done. And he did his thing, man. He came on, he motivated, he didn't sales pitch me, he didn't blurb me. I was good. But the man stayed on stage and did this.
While it's on my heart, I just want to say this before I bring Matthew back out here. This ain't no fluff, and I hope y'all feel my heart. But the team sent me the experience, as I call it, the program, the immersive learning. And I had to pick up my daughter, Marley, from school. And I was like, I'm just going to watch 5 minutes of it. I'm sure it'd be great. Well, that 5 minutes turned into the whole first module of 35 minutes. And I go to my daughter's school, and I'm almost late, and my teacher was like, Trent, like, I had to wait. And I was like, well, I was watching something from Matthew McConaughey. She was like, okay, cool, that's okay. For Matthew, it's cool. But for everybody who signs up today,
bad dad,
right now,
bad teacher,
takes ownership over their life, I'm gonna give you a gift from me. This is my baby. And I'm gonna give it to you.
What? Man's giving away a baby. Hold on, I'm not sure that's what he meant. Yeah, it wasn't a baby in the end. It was like his book or whatever. It was like his baby, his philosophy, his thing. And like I say, he did his sales pitch thing. And then...
just as a thank you for showing up for yourself and taking ownership over your life. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let's take that road trip. I'll be in the back seat.
I don't want you in the back chair, bro. Like, you seem nice to me, but if I'm just out for a drive or something on a road trip and all of a sudden you're like, there's a you inside of you. And they said to me, are you where you should be? Have you ever been to Africa? Keep going. I know what it's like to lose my mama and break my Achilles. And I don't want you in the back seat, bro. I don't want it. So then we're on to the man of the hour. The only other figure that I heard about when I heard Matthew was doing this Art of Living thing that I wanted to tune in for, because I never get a chance to tune into anything other than a tiny little segment they throw out every now and then. My man, Tony Robbins. Don't know nothing about him. He's a giant.
Tony Robbins, Mr. Robbins, Montreal Robbins. How do you do, sir?
Couldn't be bothered to get on a plane and be in the studio where Matthew McConaughey was. And that wouldn't... The man's got his own plane. The man's rich as all hell. Man couldn't be bothered to literally could not get off the sofa and go to be at the Art of Living actual studio. Loved that. Thought it was awesome. But they started to do a talk, but there's a few technical difficulties. And I just enjoy this, mainly again because I've been a public speaker and I've done presentations with multimedia and different people and interviews and stuff, and it's gone wrong and it's hellish. And it's nice to watch it happen to someone else.
Create their own culture. They decide what's right in their heart and soul. They don't let anything else drag them away from that. Crazy is, I'm going to feed 1 billion people when I said it originally, but it started with 2 and then...
I like this moment. Matthew McConaughey's listening, but he probably can't hear Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is echoey as all hell. There's static and everything. And look at Matthew McConaughey. He's like, oh shit, this thing is falling apart before my very eyes.
4 families and then 8, and I just hit that goal a few weeks ago of providing 1 billion meals in 8 years because I had no money when I was growing up. So
Amen.
Pretty cool.
So we're gonna cut from him to you while we fix the sound.
Okay. Got a sound thing we're fixing up right now. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna bang on some skins and try to stay crazy.
We've got a sound problem right now. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna bang on some skins. What does the man actually do? So we had a whole chunk of time where they didn't have any like satellite link, Zoom link, whatever with Tony Robbins. It was just McConaughey playing drums, bongos, right? And I got to tell you, man, started singing the song to himself. Probably the best part of the whole thing, man. I just enjoying it. I know what it is. Something about McConaughey and the drums. It just worked. Anyway, we get through that. Tony Robbins does his whole thing. There's other little interview things. We go to a sales pitch again, and then we're back for McConaughey's closing argument. But by this point, I've begun to feel dirty, somehow violated and tarnished by this event. I came from McConaughey, but I've been sales pitched and I've been hustled and I've been motivational speaking and I've had the PTA woman and I've had Tony Robbins telling me about feeding billions of people, and I'm just like, what's going on? And McConaughey then says, I'm coming back at the end in a little while because he's about to leave again, and I'm going to close down this kind of whole thing with an amazing speech. But it was then that I saw something that I think explained this entire event and my discomfort with it. Let's watch.
I'm going to tell you why selfish might just become your new favorite word.
Did you see what I saw as he walked off, there was this moment, just this moment where, I don't know, something happened. Look at that, man. That is a man full of hate, full of disdain, distrust, disloyalty. This is not the Matthew McConaughey we know from How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. This is not the laugh a minute, all right, stoner. This is something else. It's my firm belief now, after watching this conference and spending a few days receiving thousands of emails from the McConaughey team urging me to spend $1 on this content and $40 on that content and go to this free webinar and all that, that Matthew McConaughey somehow was possessed, hoodwinked, kidnapped, hypnotized, traumatized, and forced into doing this conference. And I think at this moment we see just a small glimpse of his captors behind the camera. We don't see them, but we see Matthew's reaction to them. Hatred, distrust. Why are you making me do this? Why? Watch it one more time. Try and get my vibe. You see it there. That's a man unhappy. Unhappy. So the event ends with Matthew McConaughey coming in, doing a final speech, and then ending with this cute little ditty.
Good night. Just keep living.
What follows is a disgusting display of rich people pretend dancing. Now, if you want to stop the video right now, save yourself this, I understand, feel free. If not, watch on.
All right, everyone, it has been a beautiful and incredible day. We've got our amazing team that has made this incredible event possible joining us here on stage. And we want to finish by saying thank you so much. Thank you for your
Look at, man, they've dragged
your
everyone, man. All the speakers, this guy here who's clearly like a tech guy, never been in front of a camera in his life. Everyone's just like told, like, get on like the stagey area, get on set, dance, look happy, just move, you know, just do whatever you got to do. It's so awkward. High fives. Awkward rich people dancing. Fake clapping, fake laughing. Now keep your eye on McConaughey here. He's going to feel very awkward. I understand. He's there. He's got his hot wife. He's just kind of like, just glad that evening's over. He can get the incriminating photos back of the people who forced him to do this. And he thinks the only way I can get through this, I need my bongo. Where is it? More awkward dancing. So awkward. I feel awkward just watching it. I'm feeling sweaty and uncomfortable. McConaughey's wife reaches for the drum. Watch what McConaughey does. Looking at this woman he loves, the mother of his children, essentially says, bitch, step back from the bongos. The cheek of this guy in a black shirt who just comes out of left field and just playfully bongos the bongo. McConaughey says no though. Puts that bongo down between his legs. And there ends the art of living with Matthew McConaughey. I hope this video hasn't been too long-winded. I had to sit through 6 hours of this shit. So I hope that you appreciate that I've cut it down to just a longish video, but a smallish video in the big scheme of things. Let me just say, jokes aside, do check out Green Lights the book. It's awesome. Probably don't check out The Art of Living, the road trip thing. I don't know if that's going to be good or bad or whatever. I had fun watching this, but it was interesting. It was the sales pitch. It was very Americanized, and I don't mind that, but I'm an Englishman, so I kind of shrivel a little bit and feel a little bit awkward when people ask me for money. That's me. That's just who I am. That's how it goes. Anyway, I'm hitting the bongos. This has been the Flat Earth Podcast. I've been Rick. This has been me talking about the Art of Living conference. And, mate, till the next time, guys. Till the next time. Later.